Hi guys, Marcelo Serrano here again. We are in the middle of the second day of Itaú ACO conference. We just finished a very impressive presentation of Michelle Caruso-Cabrera commenting some geopolitical issues regarding the US, China and so on. And the idea is to have two questions with her right now and commenting this perspective. Michelle, thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. To start, what's your view for the future of the relations between the US and China, considering some sensitive points like trade, like Taiwan, and also conflicts in Russia and Ukraine, for example?
Yeah, right now it doesn't look good. I'm very pessimistic. A lot would have to change for me to become optimistic. I think we're going to see more controls on investment into China for U.S. companies. We have a very strong movement right now in the U.S. Congress and also within the White House that they want to start telling U.S. companies which companies they can and cannot invest in China. That's something we've never done before. You know, we've had export controls before. No, you can't send that chip or you can't send that physical product, but now they're talking about capital, outbound capital controls as well. That would be another level. Trade, I think trade is going to continue as long as it's beneficial for the companies that are actually doing it. But, you know, clearly every manufacturer is trying to find a second place to do business, to do manufacturing, because they're worried about what happened under zero COVID, the unpredictability of Chinese policy, which used to be very predictable, and now it's not anymore.
Got it. And just to better understand all this impact for our region, South America has been getting closer to China, not only as a trade partner, but also in some diplomacy issues. In your view, what's the views from the US and the perception about this proximity?
Yeah, so Latin America is seen as being within the sphere of influence of the United States, right? I mean, the Monroe Doctrine exists for a reason. And the recent trip of Lula to China, the U.S. administration understands it, right? It's the largest trading partner. By the way, China is one of our largest trading partners. I mean, that's the dilemma and the conundrum that we face, right? Is that we have a very economically intertwined relationship with the country that we're in the midst of very tough competition with. But seeing Lula say things like both Ukraine and Russia were to blame for the war, that the U.S. was prolonging the war, led to a lot of bad feelings. You know, the National Security Council came out, was very negative about that. Lula tried to soften it and condemn the invasion, but there was a time when non-alignment worked, and I think that that's what a lot of countries in Latin America are trying to stick with, non-alignment. But it's going to get harder and harder. The U.S. is going to want people to start taking sides when it comes to the strategic competition with China, and I think it's going to be much tougher for countries to maintain that position at the same time, because they also have deep economic relationships with the U.S. as well.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.